When a pilot takes to the sky, they are never truly alone. Above the hum of the engine and the rush of wind, there is always a second voice, steady and precise, guiding them through the invisible highways of the sky. That voice belongs to air traffic control, and every exchange between pilot and controller carries the weight of safety, clarity, and trust. Aviation radio communication is a language of its own. It is universal, designed so that no matter where a pilot flies, from Boston to Dubai, from London to Karachi, the words remain the same. In the cockpit, every syllable matters. A single misunderstood word can change the course of a flight, which is why the rules of aviation communication are built on simplicity and precision. Before a pilot speaks, they listen. The golden rule of radio is to never step on another transmission. When the frequency is clear, the message must follow a structure. First, call who you want to reach. Then identify yourself. Then state your position. And finally, say what you need. One short, efficient sentence can carry everything. A student pilot at Boston might press the button and say, "Boston Tower, Cessna 123 Alpha Bravo, holding short runway 27, ready for departure." Immediately, the tower knows exactly who is speaking, where they are, and what they want. Controllers respond in the same structured rhythm. If clearance is given, it will always be repeated back, word for word, so that nothing is lost. A tower might reply, "Cessna 123 Alpha Bravo, cleared for takeoff, runway 27, climb and maintain 3000. The pilot repeats, "Cleared for takeoff, runway 27, climb 3000, Cessna 123 Alpha Bravo." This repetition may sound unnecessary to a listener on the ground, but in the air, it is life-saving. There is a vocabulary to this world, a set of words stripped of emotion, and ambiguity. Pilots don't say yes, they say affirmative. They don't say no, they say negative. They don't say "I understand," they say "Roger." Each phrase is short, sharp, and impossible to confuse. Even emergencies have their own language. A life-threatening distress call begins with Mayday, repeated 3 times. Urgent but non-life-threatening issues use pan-pan. These words cut through any clutter on the frequency and demand immediate attention. Imagine the scene of a small aircraft on a training flight. The pilot has taxied from the ramp and now calls the ground controller. "Ground, Cessna 123, Alpha Bravo, at General Aviation Ramp, request taxi to runway 27 for VFR departure to the west." The ground replies with authority, "Cessna 123, Alpha Bravo, taxi to runway 27 via taxiway Alpha, hold short runway 27. The pilot acknowledges, repeating the instructions. This back and forth continues, calm and methodical, until the aircraft is airborne. As the flight climbs into the departure corridor, the pilot switches to the departure frequency. "Departure Cessna 123 Alpha Bravo, passing 1500 for 3000, runway heading." The controller confirms radar contact and may assign a new altitude or direct routing. Every exchange is brief, yet packed with information. It is a ballet of words, where timing and tone matter as much as content. Sometimes things do not go as planned. Engines fail, weather deteriorates, instruments malfunction. In those moments, the radio becomes a lifeline. Consider the voice of a pilot in trouble. "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday, Boston Tower, Cessna 123. Alpha Bravo, engine failure, unable to maintain altitude, attempting emergency landing 2 miles west of the airport, 2 souls on board." The controller responds instantly, summoning emergency services and clearing other aircraft from the area. The dialogue remains calm, even as lives hang in the balance. That calmness is not accidental. It is the result of strict training and standardized words that cut through fear and chaos. For new pilots, the radio can feel intimidating. Many stumble in their first attempts. Some talk too fast. Others forget to listen before transmitting. A few slip into casual speech, using words like "okay" or "yeah," which have no place in aviation. Mistakes are natural, but every pilot learns that confidence grows with practice. Controllers know this too, and they will guide a nervous student with patience. The path to mastering this skill lies in repetition. Listening to live air traffic control feeds, role-playing with instructors, practicing on simulators, and recording one's own voice, all of these help polish the rhythm of communication. Over time, the nervous stammer turns into steady confidence. Words that once felt foreign become second nature. At its heart, radio communication in aviation is not about speaking, it is about understanding. It is about creating a shared reality between the pilot in the sky and the controller on the ground. Both are working toward the same goal: safety. Each clear instruction, each precise response, is a thread in a web that keeps aircraft separated, passengers safe, and the skies organized. The beauty of this system lies in its simplicity. With just a few dozen words, the entire life of a flight can be managed. Startup, taxi, takeoff, climb, cruise, approach, landing, all guided by an invisible dialogue carried on invisible waves. Every time a pilot presses that push-to-talk button, they step into a tradition that stretches back to the earliest days of radio. And when a flight ends, as the wheels touch down and the aircraft clears the runway, there is often a final exchange. The tower might say, "Cessna 123 Alpha Bravo, contact ground on point 9er, good day." The pilot replies, "Over to ground, good day, Cessna 123 Alpha Bravo." Simple words, yet they carry the weight of trust, cooperation, and a job well done. To talk on the radio in aviation is to be part of a living system that spans the globe. It is a skill that protects lives, connects pilots with controllers, and ensures that the sky remains both busy and safe. At first, it feels like learning a foreign language, but soon, with practice, it becomes as natural as flying itself. And in that moment, when the radio crackles with your own confident voice, you know you are no longer just flying an airplane. You are part of aviation.